The hacking collective known as Scattered Spider built a reputation on high-tier operational security, breaching major corporate networks while aggressively covering their digital tracks. Recently, a key suspect linked to the group was identified and arrested, despite the actor operating strictly behind a premium, zero-log virtual private network. In theory, network layer encryption and IP masking should make tracing a connection's origin to a specific individual computationally unfeasible. The network pipe itself was secure. To understand how investigators pulled this off, we have to audit the entire operational stack, from legal VPN boundaries and tunnel collapses to Tor network limitations and hidden operating system identifiers. Network layer defense works exactly as designed, but it is functionally useless if the underlying operating system betrays you from the inside out. A standard virtual private network has a specific, limited cryptographic boundary. It only encrypts data while it is in transit between your local device and the remote VPN server. There is a common misconception among users that securing this network pipe automatically grants complete anonymity to the identity behind the keyboard. That is mathematically false. We must distinguish between routing data, where the packet is going, and payload data. A VPN wraps your payload inside a secure outer shell, but the operating system generates that inner data first, building the packet and sliding it into the encrypted shell. To reverse engineer the Scattered Spider arrest, we need to audit the threat model stack from the outside in. We start with the VPN provider itself. The most obvious vector for identification is the network provider. Did law enforcement simply serve a subpoena to the VPN company and demand the hacker's real IP address? The actor used a service with a strict no-logs policy, similar to the architecture of Proton VPN. These systems are explicitly designed not to store connection histories, session IPs, or bandwidth metadata. The efficacy of a no-logs policy relies entirely on jurisdiction. Proton VPN servers, for example, operate under Swiss data privacy laws, which legally shield the provider from mandatory data retention directives. When authorities arrive with a warrant to seize data from a verified no-logs provider, the server architecture dictates the outcome. There are simply no historical metadata logs to surrender. The VPN held the line. The identity leak did not originate from a compromised server or a surrendered metadata log. If the server didn't leak the identity, we look at the local connection. Did a momentary network failure expose the hacker's true IP to their local internet service provider? Premium VPN clients mitigate dropped Wi-Fi or server disconnections using a kill switch. If the encrypted tunnel snaps, the system instantly slams shut to prevent any unencrypted data from leaking out. This operates by altering system-level firewall routing tables. It explicitly blocks all outbound IPv4 and IPv6 traffic unless it is routing through the active VPN interface. There is a human error vulnerability here known as split tunneling. This feature allows users to route some applications through the VPN while excluding others. A threat actor could misconfigure their setup, mistakenly excluding a specific application, like a terminal or browser, from the encrypted tunnel, thereby broadcasting their true IP to the network. While a tunnel collapse or a split tunneling oversight can easily expose a user, a highly capable group like Scattered Spider operates with strict protocols. A kill switch was almost certainly active. We have to examine the advanced routing stack. For decentralized anonymity, sophisticated actors layer their traffic through the Tor network, bouncing data across multiple volunteer nodes to obscure their final destination. But standard Tor has an operational flaw. While it hides where your data is going, your local ISP can clearly see that you are connecting to a Tor entry node. That connection alone flags the user for surveillance. To solve this, operators use Tor over VPN. By connecting to the VPN first, the data path routes from the user to the VPN server and then to the Tor entry node. This blinds the local ISP. They only see encrypted traffic heading to a commercial VPN. To defend against compromised VPN or Tor entry nodes, providers deploy architectures like SecureCore. Traffic bounces from the user to a hardened server in a privacy-friendly jurisdiction, like Iceland, before routing to a second VPN server and finally out to Tor. If the actor is operating behind a restrictive national firewall, they can layer on a stealth protocol. This utilizes TCP obfuscation to disguise the VPN traffic as standard HTTPS data, bypassing deep packet inspection. With SecureCore, stealth obfuscation, and Tor integrated into a single pipeline, the network transit layer was functionally unbreakable by standard wiretaps. the leak had to come from the endpoint itself. The investigation pivots back to the local device. The absolute control in any computing system is wielded by the operating system vendor. The fatal flaw for the scattered spider suspect was the Microsoft Global Device ID, or GDID. The GDID acts as a unique digital fingerprint. It is hard-coded, unchangeable, and tied directly to the specific hardware and Windows operating system instance on the user's machine. This identifier is generated before the data reaches the network layer. It travels inside the encrypted VPN payload, completely bypassing the network's cryptographic defenses. When that payload reached its destination, Microsoft servers logged the GDID. The masked IP address provided by the VPN in Tor was irrelevant. The payload itself carried the device's true fingerprint. Law enforcement did not need to break AES encryption or raid a Swiss data center. They simply subpoenaed Microsoft for the hardware telemetry logs matching that specific GDID. Network layer security is entirely blind to application and OS layer betrayals. Tools like strict VPNs, secure core routing, and kill switches are highly effective at their specific jobs, preventing IP leaks, blocking transit interception, and bypassing censorship. But operational security requires building a holistic threat model that accounts for every layer of the technology stack. To secure the endpoint layer against this kind of telemetry, security practitioners deploy hardened, open-source operating systems, where code can be audited and hardware identifiers neutralized at the kernel level. Securing the network pipe is a mandatory baseline for privacy, but true anonymity is impossible if your operating system functions as spyware by default.